What is up, guys? Welcome back to another Space Engineers tutorial right as the sun is coming over the mountains. So my last two tutorials were based on getting into space with a super simple space miner ship, as well as using a build and repair system and making it completely automated to where if you put something down, it will assemble the parts for you. So if you want to check those out, they're on my channel. Today I want to do something a little bit different. Today I've extended my platform so that I can do a tutorial on how I do sorting for my assembler and refineries if I am not using any sort of mods or scripts or anything like that. Completely vanilla, the way that I set up my refineries so that they'll pull the ores out and dump the ingots right back into the cargo container on their own without any mods or anything like that. I'll turn my HUD back on. So what you are going to need, at least for the refineries, first I'm going to start with a cargo container, a separate large cargo container over here on the corner. So say this is your primary source of storage, right? So the other things you will need is obviously refineries. So we'll go ahead and grab those. You're going to need conveyor junctions and sorters and tubes and all that good stuff. So we have them here. Should have sorters. Cool. So we got it all right there. So right off the bat, I'm going to start with refineries. This will work if you have more than one refinery. So the easiest way, so the way I'm going to lay this out is if you have a really simple base, you've got just a flat floor, you just got your refinery and you want to start making stuff. So I would leave about a gap of 3 between, and then rotate and place your refinery in line. And that's going to make it really simple because you can put the sorting system all in like one section, but about 3 blocks should do it. And say you have quite a few refineries and you're like, oh, I want to do sorting for all of them. We'll go ahead and put 10 refineries. So this will work just fine. So you have your large cargo, right? Say you have a connector somewhere because you've been in space and you've been getting a bunch of uranium and you want it to go through all the refineries properly. Now I'm not going to put any sort of upgrades on the back. You can, of course, if you're in your survival world. Now to get from the large cargo, you got your connector, all the ores go inside of here, and you want those ores to go into your refineries, turn into ingots, but you want them to come back out and go straight into the large cargo container. The way that you're going to do that is you're going to start with a conveyor junction. Easy peasy, right? Put another conveyor junction down here. Pretty simple. Now here's where it gets a little bit more fun. You're going to have a sorter that will feed from the large cargo into the refineries, like so. And then you're going to do another sorter that's going to go in the other direction from the refineries into the large cargo. And looking at this, you're like, well, how are they going to go? Pretty easy. Sorry, I do still have mods on, so I'm going to be using, obviously, blocks like this one that are vanilla. So you're going to put a couple of elbows so that it's kind of a round robin effect. Put another one here. Boom. And that's it. That is your sorter. Very simply placed. So you're dumping a ton of ores into here. It's going to go to the conveyor junction, go down, and then it's going to go to the refineries. The refineries are going to process all of that ore into ingots. And then this top sorter here is going to pull all of those ingots out and put it into here. So if we go to the bottom one, and we go ahead and play with the options a little bit, we're going to whitelist ore, just as easy as that. And you make sure you put drain all on, and that one is set up. It's going to pull all the ores out, and they're going to go over here. The second sorter is pretty much exactly the same thing. You're going to whitelist, except this time you're going to add ingots, add it, drain all on. And then that way it will pull all of the ingots out. Pretty easy. So we've got all of our refineries here. So you have your large cargo, and let's say, you got some tubes sticking outside of your base and you got a connector on it. You come in with your ship and you dump all this huge amount of ore into here, and so you've dumped a ton of ores into here. So so it's not letting me spawn in a whole bunch. So say you come back with a crap ton of gold or iron or something, it will fill up one of the refineries and then go to the next one and the next one and the next one. The only downside with this very vanilla sorting system thing is that it's not going to evenly distribute through all of the refineries. It will take all of your ores out of the large cargo and process them through as many refineries as it needs to, and then all of the ore is going to get sucked right out. As you can see, it's climbing and then going away, climbing, going away, and it's going right back into the large cargo container. You can see them increasing here. So you won't have ingots trapped inside of the refineries. It's going to pull all of the ingots out and put them inside of here. Versus if you have just a refinery connected to your thing without having the sorters, then it's going to process those ingots and stuff until the ingots are like full, and it's really annoying. So it'll kind of keep them all inside of the large cargo. Now the other thing as well is you can do this with assemblers also. So you got your assembler, right? You're gonna, for this purpose, I'm gonna do it up on top of this large cargo container. So you have the conveyor, and then we'll do the sorter feeds out. We'll put the sorter that feeds in right here. Same sort of deal in the conveyor junction, and then you just want to put, where are you? And then you just want to put your elbow there, here, and then it's going to be the same sort of setup, except this time in this one you're going to have it set to whitelist, but you're going to do components this time. Add the components, drain all on, and then this sorter is going to be a little bit different. You're going to set it to whitelist ingots, add, but you're not going to turn on drain all. You're just going to allow it to bring ingots as the assembler needs them. And then you'll have your assembler on top. Doesn't really matter where you put it exactly, but if you have it on top like this, then you have room for all four. If you want to put speed upgrades on it, then you have room for all four of them. Now, what can I assemble with just iron? Quite a few things. So let's say if we want to make, so you have a bunch of iron, you got this little sorter type setup here. You go up here and let's make 3,000 steel plates. You'll see the steel plates will start to disappear instead of just lingering inside of the assembler. I should have done this on a separate grid from this one because that's trying to do stuff. So all the steel plates are automatically getting pulled out. It's pulling the iron that it needs in, and then if you go down to the large cargo, you'll see the steel plates are going into the large cargo container. All of your ores are still being processed perfectly. So this is a functioning, pretend you just have one refinery, one assembler. You can lay it out however you want as long as the sorting setup is like this or similar to this. You could probably honestly compact it a little bit more. It doesn't have to be sticking straight up. You can lay it down flat however your base is laid out, as long as the setups are very similar to this round robin sort of effect. And even this one's a little bit different. I had a conveyor junction on each corner. This one I have one on top, and then I put the 2 tubes. It doesn't matter as long as it is set up in a round robin effect. Then it will work. And you can see, still got the steel plates coming right into your large cargo container. You don't have to worry about them getting stuck in the assembler, stuck in the refinery. I always hated that when I was playing the game, when you have a lot more than you really do, and you have this one dedicated cargo container. You come in and you look and you're like, what? I could have swore I had more of that. And then the assembler or the refineries are just holding on to the other items. So hopefully this helped other people. I really hope it did. This is what I do in survival worlds when I don't have mods, and it has worked out excellent for me. So if it helps you out, please leave it a like. If it doesn't, leave a comment as to why not, and I will try to fix it for you. Take it easy, guys.